two business models is pairing the two. It's completely different. It's like, I've got to design it, I got to print this, I got to laminate this, I got to pre-production, post-production. Like, whereas for Tint, geez, buy the film, everybody wants something tinted.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Born to Tint podcast. I'm Ricky. Glad to be here with my big brother, Josh. What's going on, everyone? We had a really fun conversation today with Scott Decker, Wrap On Tools. Really fun conversation. Check it out. It's fairly easy to walk stuff in, but I know getting it out, nightmare.
And it's always set up, right? Like, so you, like, everything's already, that's the biggest downside. Anytime anybody's ever asked me to do one, like, they're like, hey, can you bring your setup mobile? It's like, it's kind of already set up. I really don't want to take it all down, and then,
Yeah.
So
and then we were gonna bring like a folding table, and then when I was texting with Lindsay and she like sent me photos of I was like, you guys have chairs? She sent the chairs, and I saw this table in the background, and I was like, how big is that table? She's like, sent me I got a picture with a tape measure across 30 inches. I was like, we can make that work.
Yeah. No, this is perfect.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with the setup. The lighting's great. I think it looks good.
Like 10 minutes to wrap the table, and boom.
Sure.
Done.
Yeah,
don't judge us on how it feels below.
No, I try not to. It's funny, I was just telling somebody, it's very rare, and you guys might be the same way, that I'm like really critical of somebody's install, right? Hey, you never know the situation. It's like, but I was outside last night, I was leaving the show, and there was a A6 Avant wagon, right? Like, it's an Audi, thing looks sick, and I'm like, the design looks so good, and the install looks so good from a distance. It was like, I gotta look. I gotta get in there and I gotta look. And dude, it looks so freaking good. Like, it looked so clean and crisp. Like, whoever did the install they did an incredible job. It was a hell of an install, hell of an execution. The car's beautiful. I'm a wagon guy, so it's like, it was fitting, but it was one of those things where it was like, I just got the feeling like, I got to check this out. I got to look at it. You know what I mean? Like, the last thing I want to do is come over here and start feeling like, what's going on here? What's it? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not that guy, but I say that, and then I turn around I almost laid on the ground. It looked so damn good. I was like, I want to get up underneath this thing and really see what's going on.
I'm that way when it comes to flat glass. Like, I'm out at a restaurant or something, I will look and critique.
It's hard, right? It's hard to shut off.
Oh, man. I critique it in my head, obviously. And like, I wasn't like that with wraps until we started doing them.
Sure.
And then that's when it's like, I was like happy I did start looking, because I realized that how we were treating some of our commercial installs, and like, we got to do this in one piece. And it's like, I'm looking at all the other ones. I'm like, God, we are wasting a lot of time on stuff that is not going to get seen by only but me. And if I don't have to say stretch this one side, and I can just throw a seam right here on the body line that no one's going to see, design it that way too. And it's like, not only did I save myself time, I actually didn't have to put any stress on the vinyl.
Yeah, it's going to last longer. Probably looks better, right? Like, all the stuff. So I didn't realize that you guys did wraps as well. That's cool. I thought flat glass, automotive window tint, obviously. So.
Yeah, no, we got
commercial now.
Yeah, we got into graphics. We had a what the hell is the plotter called? Allen Datagraph. That was the first plotter we bought, and we started doing like just cut graphics, and then we slowly got into the fact finally got a printer. Then we finally bought a rolling printer. That's when we really went all in.
Sure.
And we were doing color change and all that, but recently I've ripped it down just because we don't have, in my eyes, we don't have enough labor to make that. I know it's profitable, but you have to have the right team together.
Of course.
Because if you're just trying to rely on one person to do it all, it's too much. And
so historically, though, for you guys, tint shop, right? Like, you started as a tint shop, like, so you grew from there.
And when we added graphics, it was like pre-cast vinyl. So it was like cut, layer with transfer tape. Like,
yeah, but if you, like, comparing the two, like, the two business models it's completely different. It's like, one's really sexy. So I had a sign shop for a little while where I was like, I had to sell the job, I had to design the job, I had to install the job. Everything, I was doing all of it, right? And then I got these. I was on Craigslist one night. I used to buy and sell and flip stuff, And I was on Craigslist one night, and there was a listing for an ad. Paid $100 an hour. You could work anytime you wanted to. It was install only. And so I was like, well, I'm doing that, right? Like, I work all day and then go over here and moonlight and, pick up some extra cash. And so I get over there and find out it's production. So it ends up being like, oh man, we can actually make more than $100 an hour. I was making like $250, some nights maybe $500 an hour. It was really good money. You do that for a few months and you look at your bottom line and you're like, why the hell am I wasting all my time over here with like, I've got to design this, I got to print this, I got to laminate this, I got to pre-production, post-production, like, and back then we didn't charge for designs. You know, we weren't getting paid for, you know, and a lot of shops I hear it now, like as I go out and do trainings and I'm working with people, they're like, yeah, we don't charge for design. We can't. Like, how the hell do you make money? You're getting destroyed, you know, whereas, you know, for tint, geez, I mean, buy the film, everybody wants something tinted, right? Like, so it's a different ball. It's just it's so hard to, they complement each other well. You know what I mean? I think tinters make great wrappers, but like, it's tough to integrate it. Like once you see that clean, crisp, like, you know, you got everybody out there that has a window, there's a potential that they want it tinted. And I guess you could argue the same thing for wraps. Like everybody that has a vehicle may want to wrap, but windows, it's just to me, it seems like a much cleaner model. So
definitely. Yeah, we expanded in. We even expanded our shop. We added an extra bay. It was graphics, and like I said, we still do it. But all I'll do now and all I aim towards is commercial graphics. Yeah, wall wraps and commercial vehicles, fleet vehicles. That's what I want to do.
I've been seeing a lot of your stuff around the school, the training stuff, right? Like, so that's big for you guys right now. Like, is that?
Yeah, we launched that 3 months ago.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for a while, but we finally actually
just flat classes.
But is it separate from the, like, is it, at some reason, whenever I see, like, it seems like it's in a whole nother location. Is it still
same? Same place? We got very lucky in the fact that where my dad originally picked his first shop, we started in a bay in the back. And then when we were able to get moved to a storefront. But this complex, there's about 5 owners. There's one majority, and there's 4 like satellite owners where they were selling them as condos with a business front.
Got it.
They started selling them and realized we're not going to make money, and they held on to them and started leasing them out. So as soon as my dad saw one of the bays that was owned privately up for sale, we bought that one, and the majority owner at the time knew that we weren't going nowhere.
Sure.
So we're like, let's take the end cap. So we bought the end cap, and we were able to buy a couple extra bays.
Nice.
One of the bays, half of it is our flat glass inventory. The other half we leased out for a couple of years. And when his lease ran up and he moved on, it's like we had that empty space. And that was where, like, for us, our biggest hang up was labor. And I think for the majority of a lot of our services, including, I would say, wraps too, it's like, if I had that extra installer, I could have done this much more.
Sure. Yeah.
So having somewhere to actually train someone, especially for flat glass, because usually it's always on the job training. Like, I'm going to go over the prep work with you offsite, and then you're going to come on to the job with me, and then I'll slowly start feeding you things here and there. Like, what if I had a room where I have 20 plus panes, where I can let you sit there and rep it out, and if you make a mistake, you're not doing it in front of a customer. And if I have the scrap film sitting there too, like, why not? And then it was past that for me. It was like, how do I, like, I wanted to get into training, and how do I expand my business without having to leave my location and teach people? If someone wants to come out, you get to come to Vegas. That's where we really get lucky. It's like you get a Vegas weekend, and then you come to the academy, and we do a 3-day academy together.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
and it looks great. Like, you know, just from the videos, right? It's like you guys did a really good job. Like, it looks like, you know, pretty. You know, it's a professional training facility. You know,
thankfully for having the backing with Tint Wiz, and then in backing from Solar Guard too.
Yeah,
they both have been behind us the entire time, from starting the podcast, then to doing the academy thing. They were like getting like 2 words into a sentence of letting them know what we wanted to do and what our vision was. And like, oh, we're in.
What brought on the podcast? What was the?
Just to get info out about flat glass. Yeah. So we'd get more leads, be more consistent on social media. Always putting that out, and realizing if we want to dominate our marketing, we need our market. We need to be more consistent in that field. Start off with that one video, and then get to the point we want to do 3, 5, and keep increasing it. You know, I think we're pretty much running at I'm gonna say red line right now, but close to. In order to, I think, get more out, I'll have to hire someone else onto that side.
Flat glass is a pretty big portion of your business. Is that?
It's about 60%.
60 now.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I'd say 2 years ago it was flopped. It was 40%. So everything we've done with the academy has definitely had our flat glass side grow tremendously.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The podcast on my head, because I'd been wanting to do it for a while, was like I could just see that's the direction social media is going. Like, the whole point is grab people's attention. It's like an attention economy, and build trust with people. And there's like a bunch of synergies to it. Like, we can promote flat glass to the general public, also to the industry, help network with people that we have on. They have followings, they have social media. We're going to do collaborations,
100%,
whether it's a local business that we have on or someone in the tin industry. Some way, shape, or form, we're going to get clips out of that, which then keeps us consistent on social media. And if they happen to actually then come to the podcast, that's just like a cherry on top. I didn't realize how quickly it would work though. Like 3 months in, I was starting to go on 4 months in, I'm going on consultations for flat glass residential project, and the person's like, oh yeah, I listened to one of your podcasts. Like,
no chance. That's
like,
cool.
Like, so a clip actually brought them to the full podcast.
Yeah.
I was expecting for that end, like it would take longer and it would be more just the clips that are grabbing people and even just educating them that they could tint their house.
Sure.
Because I was going on installs my whole life and hearing from customers over and over again, like, oh my God, this works so good. I wish I would have done this years ago. I didn't even know you could do it. So it's like there's clearly a huge opportunity to educate the end consumer of these other aspects of the industry. And then all of those other things just pile on top, and it's a really efficient way to get a lot of content. We learn a lot every person we have on.
Yeah.
You start noticing trends on people that have been successful on social media with their business. Yeah. They're all doing a lot of the same things, and sometimes I don't think they realize it. It's something as simple as when you have something go viral, engage in the comments.
That's right.
DM people. Like, I've heard that over and over and over again, having conversations with people like you on here.
Well, I can tell you from somebody that does a podcast, one, it's not easy. It's a lot of freaking work. And you guys are already working your asses off with the school. You're, obviously full-time, owning a business, running a business, and then taking the time to do the podcast is pretty incredible. So that's badass in itself. And then the quality, I think that's really what stood out to me, right? Like I see a lot of people doing podcasts, and I think it's incredible, right? I think every point that you just said is 100% true. I think where a lot of people lack is keeping it high quality, right? Good sound, good video. If you're going to put up stuff like y'all's clips, they're crushing it every time. And maybe it's because I'm a little bit in the space, right? Like it's like I get kind of drawn in because of that, right? And so that's why I was just curious. Like it's, the chances of us sitting down and like just hanging out and shooting the shit are so small, right? Like it maybe if all the stars align, right? Like I've seen you guys compete, before. Like I go to WFCT and I see you there, and it's like, and this is cool. But you guys are in the moment, you know what I mean? So like to stop you, I know if I'm competing, last thing I want to do is take 45 minutes and be like, where are you from? What are you doing? Like, and really take the time to get to know somebody. But it's cool to think that the opportunity is there for somebody to be able to do something like that. You know what I mean? With the podcast, you're able to, you can reach out to somebody like you guys and be like, hey, look, maybe at some point we can come together and we can collab. We can do a video together and get a chance to know each other. And so anyway, it's just kind of cool. I like to point out some of that stuff because I think a lot of people take for granted, they'll see the clips and they've almost kind of gotten numb to some of it. You know what I mean? They just take for granted that, like, oh, okay, here your boys again doing another thing. It's like, come on, guys. Like, there's a lot of shit that goes into this. This is not an easy thing to do, especially here. And like, this is a kind of a feat, like to take on. So it's pretty impressive.
Oh, appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
That was one thing where because he'd been bugging me like 2 years prior to us starting, like we should do it. And my always biggest drawback was, all right, how are we going to pull it off? Sure. What do we need? Yeah. And like camera wise, and like I don't have the time, nor am I qualified to start doing research on it. Like I could have, but how much time I would have had to use to do that at that point in our business? It's like I can't. Like I'm already spread out in so many areas. I can't do that right now, and that's what held us up for the longest time. Because for me, it's like if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. Yeah. And then we had the opportunity presented to us to use, someone else's team and pretty much be coached by them. And it was someone that we trusted. And he ended up becoming our business mentor.
That is a game changer. Yeah, that's cool.
So we did it with him for like 6 months. Mm-hmm. And then he ended up shutting down the program. It just didn't make sense business wise.
Gotcha.
And then at the end of that, he's like, would you guys be interested in doing a one-on-one? And we were like, at that point too, it's like, actually, yes, we're scaling, we're growing. And like, I only know what I know. And when it comes to the business side, I'd rather not guess or, be wrong.
Sure.
I'm not saying that everything he says is kind of 100% gold, but he has the experience. He's ran through multiple businesses. He already has a success. Like, why guess when I can be trained by somebody?
So he was even like, and maybe I misunderstood you there for a second. So it was like you're working with him through the podcast stuff, but then he becomes like a mentor or a trainer. Like he's
So we
like
were paying to use his team, his studio. He just happened to be here local, but he had found success in the real estate space. With his podcast and had the whole team set up. So then he started offering a package of like, hey, even if you weren't here in Vegas, they would coach you through setting your podcast up, set you up with recording wherever you're at, and his team would do the editing. And it was like a package where you'd get 4 a month, so 1 a week, with 7 clips per episode, which gives you 1 per day to put on social.
Was it expensive? It's got to be expensive, right? Like,
no, it wasn't bad.
No?
I mean,
there's a lot of effort that goes into that, man.
Depends who,
expensive is relative, right?
Yeah, it's relative. I think a lot of people would think it was expensive.
Sure.
But it was definitely worth it.
I just imagine like if I had to do it for somebody else, right? Like, because we look at our equipment, it's like we've already made the investment. It's not like, we're in there, if we're lucky, 2 days a week, maybe 2 hours at a time. So we have X amount of square footage. We have all. And I was going to say that earlier when we were talking about like when you've got it set up, dude, it becomes so easy. You don't even have to think about it. You just walk in, if you got an engineer somewhere that's like switching cameras for you, Josh he does all that for me, right? So it's like when we go in, we sit down, they dial in the cameras. All I got to do is I'm just kind of a talking head. I just kind of show up and we're just kind of hanging out. Really, it doesn't even become like a job. But I think about it from a business standpoint. I'm like, man, we got all this stuff just sitting here all the time, never really doing anything. Like, yes, it's convenient, but damn, it'd be nice to be able to utilize that a little bit better, for something. So that's,
I think that's why he did it.
It makes sense.
Then he realized like we were one of the only people that signed on to the program that kind of stuck with it, that were here local, actually using that studio.
Sure.
But so when he ended that, because it just didn't make sense for his business model, he also does one-on-one mentoring, and he does big events. And so he already is in the mentoring and coaching space. And
how's that been for y'all?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was another thing that 3 or 4 years ago, if you would have told me how much we would be spending on something like that, I'd have been like, no way.
Sure.
But it's been worth every dollar.
That's cool.
We get the first time we sat down with him, it was for 3, almost 4 hours of going over all of the numbers of the business and figuring out where's the real problem. Yeah. What should be the number one priority on what we're changing first. We all kind of look at it, get an agreement. Okay, cool. Especially with it being a group of us making the decisions for our business. It's not just like one sole proprietor. Yeah, but we need to be in an agreement. So if we're disagreeing on something, we'll typically go into our monthly meeting with him knowing this is the thing we need to talk about. We don't all agree on what we should do next. Get his input. And typically, by the end of that hour, we're like, okay, this is what we're doing next. So it's allowed us to make decisions faster.
In the beginning, did you feel vulnerable at all? Did you feel like, no? I guess you had worked with him some.
And we had already built that relationship with him through his podcast, right? Before we even pulled the trigger. So you kind of broke
those barriers before you got there.
And like seeing the podcast work that way with us and him and that relationship was like, well, why? Let's just mimic that exact same thing. Sure. And can we build that relationship with people that are following along? Like you're building trust that way too.
Yeah. The thing for me was it was a guy that we played baseball against. Like I played baseball against him in high school. He went to a local high school. He got drafted out of high school. No, drafted out of college. Dropped out of college. But he played minor league ball for 7 years, and then from there he then started flipping couches, and then got into the real estate space. And then so when he started doing the social media thing, it was 2019 is when he really went at it. Like I was already following him. I knew of him. And when he put out that podcast thing, like how he sold us and then how we did it is we did the exact same thing. His thing was a small little clip, got me interested. I sent it in. It was a phone call, a second phone call. We got offered a package. We picked the package. And then in between all that, all of a sudden we get like a second video that was a little bit longer.
Sure.
And then they broke down to us, like the whole point is like, if you got the consistency of the small clips, that's the short attention.
Sure.
They see it a couple times.
Hook them in.
And then all of a sudden they go to your long format content. And now they listen to long format. Not saying you have them sold, but like they know you.
Yeah. And you're building a relationship.
Even when he called me up and was like, hey, or he might have even DM'd me.
No, we were at Uncle Frank's.
Well, he mentioned it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I already follow him. I've been watching his podcast. Like he's had a bunch of influential business people that I follow on his podcast that I've listened to 1.5 2-hour long conversations. And I was like, oh, he's doing that in Vegas? Like, yeah,
sure.
Let's do it. Like,
so do you guys try to stay in your lane as far as guests, or is it just whoever, whenever, however?
Buckshot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we started, and through his advice, actually, and this is Ryan Pineda we're talking about.
Okay.
We tried to keep it more niche industry. A lot of the early guests were just tint industry.
Sure.
Stay in what we know, talk about. Those are the clips we really want.
Yep.
And ideally for me, I always knew we wanted to go wider.
Sure.
Especially with the local businesses.
Yes.
The local business one we've been doing more and more and more of, and we're seeing more and more success with that. So I think we're going to do a lot more of that moving forward, because they're also business people that we can talk about just business.
Sure.
And the networking aspect of it, like Joe Rogan, for example, he's built up a giant audience because he'll do 5 days a week. He'll do an episode, and every one of those people he has come on has an audience of people that already follow them. So now the YouTube or Spotify algorithm, if you're into Andrew Huberman, for example, and you've never listened to Rogan, all of a sudden when he's on there, it's going to recommend that to you. And then you listen to that, and then all of a sudden a percentage of those people that have never heard of you are probably going to follow along.
Yeah.
For both sides of the conversation.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is a way to take networking that we already know in the physical form is probably the best way to do business, and create a digital version of it where we're now networking our social networks together through doing collaborations and even just listening to the podcast.
Yeah, no, it's cool because you never really know where it's going to go, right? Like, it's like, that's the exciting part for me, is like you get in there and it's like, all right, even if they're affiliated, like I just did an episode with Tim Evans. Tim Evans is Rapper Mapper. He's got a setup where you can go to his website, look on, it's like a locator for rappers essentially, and yeah, it's a cool program. It's been around for a long time. It's really simple. It's not a crazy, anything crazy, but people utilize it. So you can register to become, a member. But so that's really and photography is really what he's known for. So he comes to all the events. He takes pictures of, people rapping, and he doesn't really, he's got a portion of it where he'll charge, but it's really a passion play. Like, he just taught himself to do photography, and he enjoys it, and he likes showing up. And but you get to talking with Tim, and I'm thinking, okay, those two things we're probably going to talk about, right? Like, and then he does some he goes out in the woods and shit, right? Like, he'll get out there, like he's got a built out Jeep, and he's like minimalist where he wants to leave no trace behind. Like, super interesting guy, right? So I'm like, we're going to hit on these things. He gets into do the podcast with me. We talk pretty much business the entire time, right? And it's like, he's able to do those other things because he's so disciplined in business, right? And I would have bet a million times we would have spent 45 minutes just talking about how to sharpen a knife or something. You know what I mean? Just because that's how you know him. Or photography, like, what kind of cameras are you using? No, it was like just straight to the point business, and it was really cool because it was like, damn, I was not expecting this. Like, but it was exciting because, like I said, you think you know where the direction it's going to go, and you really don't. You have no clue. Like, but that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it exciting, right? It gets me.
So you've asked the question.
Sure.
I'm going to ask it back. What was your inspiration to do a podcast, and when did that whole journey start, and how has that worked out for you?
So it's been incredible. It's for us, it was like we had so John Duver, he was doing a podcast for a little while in the industry. We had a couple before him, and then, obviously they get into it. It's a lot. They find out it's a lot of work, and they just don't start, they're not doing it as much anymore. So it was like, okay, well, here's a space. And we had just launched a tool. So I invented a tool back in 2018, got a provisional patent on it. We bought manufacturing equipment. So we have a full manufacturing tool company, CNC mill machine, injection mold machine. We've got 10 3D printers, lasers, all sorts of stuff. It's a really, really cool, fun process. I'm in business with my best friend, so it's really fun. But we wanted a cool way to be able to market it, right? And I'm not a sales guy. Like, I guess I can be, but even then, it's like, if I don't feel like it's sales if you're interested in it and I'm just explaining it to you, right? Like, that's kind of a different thing. It's more of just like education or something. I don't know. It's maybe customer management, but I'm really curious. So it's like, you take those things and you bring them together, and it's like a podcast just makes sense, right? Like, there's a lack of it in the industry. I've got to market my stuff, and I'm genuinely curious, like, how you're doing and what's going on with you. And so, and finding the time to do that becomes challenging because it's like, you know, I tell people I married my wife because I like her, right? Like I want to spend time with her. I want to hang out with her. It's like, it's really hard for me to find the time to, you know, get on the phone with somebody for 45 minutes. So, and then it's like also having my focus. Like it's one thing to get on the phone with me and maybe like we're troubleshooting, maybe you need some help, maybe you just want to catch up, but it's like, I'm not really there, you know, like I'm not really getting to know you. When we sit down and do a podcast, it's like, you don't really have a choice. You know what I mean? You got the headset on, we're like, you know, you're dialed in, you're focused on one another. So it's like, it forces you to just get dialed in and really pay attention and focus. So that's, you know, for me, it's like, it checks all the boxes. Podcast just checked all the boxes. You know, I don't mind posting videos. Like we had a lot of success on TikTok. We during COVID, you know, TikTok just blew up. So it was fun. I still enjoy making videos. But you find your medium, right? Like you find the space where you're comfortable and you can just kind of let loose and be yourself. I don't know. It's strange. You get into other things and it's like there's like this constant edit or like this. You're creating something that's not really real. You know what I mean? You sit down like this, it's really, especially long format stuff. You know what I mean? Like you get out, I love doing it. Now that I've done it, you know, I think we're at like 40 or 50 episodes now. It's like you watch your guests, like they come in, right? They're a little nervous and like they're kind of looking over at the cameras and like they can't, but eventually, you know, you watch them and they finally get into the pocket, right? And you can, I always talk about, Kristen Lorazoni, she was on our podcast. When she came in, she had her hat really like kind of down low and she's got her head down, you know, and she's just kind of looking up every little. And then we hit on a few subjects where it's like, you just see her like light up, like her posture changes, right? And she just like, it was almost like she just spreads out and it's like, you could see all of her, right? Like she was like, there was no more, it was like, she got her hair flipped back. She's like, hell yeah. Like, you know, I think we were talking about guns or something. I don't know, but it was cool, right? Like it was like, so whatever that, like, I enjoy that so much. Like watching just people be who they are. Like this is, you don't have to fake it, right? Like it's just a couple installers. We're chopping it up. We're chilling, you know? And so, but that's kind of like more of the long-term benefits of it. And then the marketing, like for us, it's kind of hard to gauge because, you know, the conversion is like, how do you track it? And I don't know. I know that it's doing good, right? Because we meet new people and like, you know, we come out to shows like this and people are, you know, they come up, they're like, man, we love your tools and love what you're doing and we appreciate everything. So it's like, you know that it's converting, but like maybe the analytics behind it are really hard to like accurately gauge like what that trend, I don't know. But I enjoy it. So we just keep plowing. I don't see any reason why to stop. I mean, it's fun.
So the podcast for us is, I mean, it's just the byproduct of how our means to get our 7 clips. And
sure.
Yeah, the added benefits I didn't realize until obviously after the fact. It took like around the 3-month mark, and that's what we committed to.
Sure.
So like this isn't going to be something like where they can't. If you're going to commit for like 2 or 3 weeks, this probably isn't a good fit.
Sure.
We got a 3-month contract to begin with. We're like, no, like if we're going to do it, we're going to do it, and like that was the agreement between all 3 of us. But the added benefit of being able to sit down and have a conversation, and like even now, like some of my favorite episodes are ones where at least we get into a conversation, especially like when we're going into our back room and we just sit down. They don't realize that we've already started.
Sure. Yeah.
And like, oh, we started. And it's like, we're 30 minutes in.
Yeah.
And they're like, huh? And it's like, it took a bit to get there too, because it's like our first couple episodes. I remember back like listening to some of them, and like the repeating of words.
I've stopped telling them. Right? Like we don't even talk about and it's gotten to the point now where I got to check, right? Like Josh, we good? We recording? Yeah. We good? Because we've been talking for like 20 minutes. I just want to make sure we're you know, I don't want to burn any, you know. Yeah. So, and it's, I don't know, man. Like it's fun. It's, you know.
Those are the best conversations because the first handful we would do the intro.
Yeah.
Then we'd start talking. And then we figured out pretty quickly, like, all right, let's just like sit down and start talking.
Yeah.
And see if we can just get into that groove as quick as possible. And then we'll just record the intro after because then we already know what we talked about.
I had a buddy of mine, Matt Ferguson. He came on the podcast, did the episode with me, and he had on a new Samsung watch. And when he laid his hand, and it's funny because like I get it, you know, I get excited, I'll get jacked, and I'm on the table, you know, and Josh hates it because he's like, dude, you're getting in the other shots. Like you got to keep, you know, sit on your hands or something. But Matt's got his hand up on the thing, and I see his watch. I'm like, dude, that's a badass watch. Like it looked, you know, some watches they're small, they're kind of dinky, you know. It's like I don't know that I like it like that. I like a good watch, like a good size watch, right? Like, so I seen his and I'm like, dude, that is badass. Like, what kind of watch is this? And we're talking about it. And the next thing you know, he was like, oh, you're good. And I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, dude, he was like, I was so nervous. And he was like, it's all gone now. He's like, that was intentional. You done that on purpose, right? And I was like, yeah, I done it on purpose. But give me some insight on that watch, because I think it's sick. You know, but it's just funny how people like they get in their heads about it. You know what I mean? And it's like, just chill out. We're good. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna chop it up.
Yeah, just try to pretend the cameras and the mics aren't there, and just have a conversation with someone.
I feel like we miss out on so much, man. It's where did you guys come up with the 7? You said 7 clips. You're trying to get 7 clips from each one, or is it
one a day?
One a day. Okay,
so
got it.
One episode a week. 1 clip a day, to where you're always at least putting something out every day. And that's like the one thing. It's like, if we're going to do this, we're doing it. We got to make sure we don't miss an episode, don't miss posting a clip. And then like now we've gotten to the point, it's like 2 to 3, sometimes 4 a day, depending on what content we're
not from the pod, but
one from the pod, and then we expanded from that because we got some feedback.
Yeah, like that was all that was on our Instagram.
Sure. They wanted to see installations.
Sure,
they went with it. We're able to get our hands like on the 2 of the first 4 Cybertrucks that hit the valley, and we were able to do. And like I reached out to, thankfully we had a connection, and I said, hey, I'll do the tint and the wrap for $2,000. Like I just want to cover my material, but I want to get a photo and video of us working on this many at a time, and get the video out as fast as possible, so people know like, hey, we've been doing it since these things dropped.
Right.
Like just knowing the power of that. And like 2 of the guys were like, hey, we appreciate it, but like, you know, we're going to go with this other company. And it was like, you look at their content, they had great content.
Sure.
So of them wrapping vehicles, and they were just like, you know, we just see the pod. We don't see you guys really like doing anything. So I just didn't trust the installation process. So then we tried to get like 1 auto install. We need to get more flat. We need to get better at that, getting more flat out there. And I just need to get I need to get better at scheduling my guy to get out there with the houses that we got to ask the customer, hey, okay, if we get some content. We've gotten better at it. And then even like with Clear Bra too, to where at least we're trickling in, hey, these are our installers. And that was the other benefit to it too. It's just like, at first, you only see me and him.
Sure.
You expect us to be doing the installation.
I think last year, what was it? Maybe it was during WFCT where maybe you guys took some installers out with you or something. Was
that was about the whole shop and a bunch of subcontractors.
Yeah. And that was cool to see.
How many people did we have compete?
13.
Yeah.
And at one point there was like guys competing to compete or something. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's wrong.
In the years prior to this year, we would make our guys. We do an in-house competition.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like if you made the finals. The previous year, you automatically get to go back.
Yeah.
And then we had like a competition on the automotive side and the flat glass side of who else gets to go.
And flat glass, you know, what's funny is people act like it's not, like it's a sexy business, man. Like you think about a house, like all the windows in the house, like it's good business, you know? I didn't think about though being able to get content in somebody's house. Like after you said that, I was like, duh, like that's
most people are cool with it. You just
most people are signing an agreement too that says that we can, but I still want to make sure they understand that we're
respectful.
doing it.
Sure. Yeah. If somebody was tinting my daughter's room, tinting the window, and they're filming, right? Like that's kind of strange. I'd be like, what the hell are y'all doing in there? Like, what doing? Like freaking me out. But I get it. I get, you know.
And there'll be projects. That's the other cool thing. I'm out doing architectural consultations all day. So I'm going out and multi-million-dollar homes all the time. And it's like, that part is really fun.
It's gotta be dope.
There's so many neighborhoods in this town that like, if you weren't doing what I'm doing, like you wouldn't even know they exist. Like, so it's like a little bit of a two-edged sword because like I've got a nice house and like I'm happy with where I am in life, but it's like it's always keeps me like grinding and wanting to work harder because I'm like, man, a lot of people have figured out how to have like some pretty baller ass houses. Like some of these houses are insane. Like you walk into it and you're just like, all right, there's levels.
Oh yeah,
there's levels to this.
So my core business has been motorsports, right? And so we work with professional racers, and they've got they got sick car collections. They got everything, right? Beautiful wives, beautiful families, beautiful houses. They live like in this different world of just everything seems beautiful, I guess. But so the first time, Kyle Larson signed with Hendrick Motorsports. Hendrick Motorsports was one of our biggest clients for like 10 years. And we went over to Kyle's house, right? And we pull up, and it's a barn dominium. It's beautiful. I mean, everything about it is, the lawn's perfectly scaped. You know what I mean? Like everything looks brand new. He's got a Newell coach, backed to his garage, and we go in and we're working. I think we were just wrapping a souvenir trailer, I think, at the time, and I'm like, dude, and so him and his wife were there, and we're just, they're chopping it up with us. They're normal people, like they're cool, and I'm like, man, this is such a cool house, like, because it was like 50-50, so like 50% of it was their garage, and then 50% was like a living quarters, and they were like, oh no, this isn't our house. Like, well, this is a house. I've been in plenty of houses. This is definitely a house. And they were like, no, this is Kyle's, kind of his man cave. This is where he, and I was like, I don't think you guys get it. Like, I mean, it was such a beautiful place. Like, I was so blown away. It was the first time that I can remember. So Chase Elliott would fly from Georgia up to Hendrick Motorsports in Charlotte. He would fly his own plane, and like that made me feel a certain kind of way, because he was younger than me, and like he's very successful in the racing, and so it's like that was the first time. And then being in Kyle Larson's man cave and them saying, oh no, this isn't our house. It was like, oh shit, like this is tough, man. Like, yeah, because I would live there. Like, it was like it felt like a mansion to me. You know what I mean? Like, these guys, upstairs he had like a golf simulator. Like, I mean, it was just a badass pad where they're hanging out. It's just, but that level of living, I was gonna add, dude, if when you're in those places, if you get that feeling, you know what I mean, of like,
yeah, no, it's an eye opener. I mean, we've had a customer in his badass custom community that they're all multi-million-dollar homes, and we come to do some security film on the home, and then they're like, okay, well, we need to go to the garage next door we want to do that too. And we literally end up going into the lot next door. It's an entire house. Like, it's another entire multi-million-dollar house. It's like, I thought you said the garage. He's like, well, then there's a lot of garage doors on this house. You walk in, the HOA wouldn't allow him to build a garage. So he built a house that has a kitchen and it has everything to be coded as a house. But when you walk in, it is a garage. Yeah. He's got 30 badass cars, including it wasn't a Hudson, but it was some really rare old Lincoln or something that there's like only 5 of.
Sure.
Like original Ford GT, every version of the Viper. Like, it's just like they literally built a multi-million-dollar house on a custom lot next to their house with garage doors all around it to store their cars in, and it was just like, okay.
Are car collections is like a big thing out here? Do you see a bunch of those? Like,
in those big houses, they always have nice cars in the garage. Yeah, we just did one recently that he had 3 or 4 garages at the house, and one of them was just all Lamborghinis, all different versions, all the way down to the new like hybrid one that's got the electric motor in it.
That's sick.
Yeah. So
I got a little spoiled because we were, when you work for the guys that own the race teams, you know what I mean? Like, they'll have like these wild, crazy collections. Like, it just stuff that you just don't, it's unheard of, right? Like, obviously, billionaires are out there, but you just don't think, like, I got to this place where I just stopped thinking about it, and I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were like, yeah, they have this, it's like a 20 car, it's pretty big 20 car collection. And I was like, 20 cars, that doesn't sound very big. And they were like, oh yeah, how many cars do you have? I'm like, not me. The people I work for is completely, they have these massive car collections. So
yeah,
it's pretty cool, man. I enjoy it. It happens every once in a while where you kind of get the check, and it's like, oh man, this is tough. So.
It drives me, and I also like to remember, like, I'm a big fan of like comparisons to Thief of Joy.
Sure.
So I was like, okay, that's cool that they have all that stuff. I don't need that to be happy.
Sure.
But I know that there's another level to this. It's like even like getting into running and ultra marathons. Like, I didn't know running 100 miles was a thing until I read about it, and then I was like, oh, I felt really good about doing a half marathon. All right, I'm gonna go try doing that.
I enjoy running. Like, I genuinely just enjoy going and running. Now, I wanted to ask you guys about this because, like, is there a time? So when you talk about doing long distance running like that, do you still enjoy it? Like, is it still, or first off, do you enjoy running? And then second question,
definitely.
Do you, that kind of, when it gets to that level, do you still enjoy it? Is it the same? It's got to be a different kind of enjoyment, right?
I would say the training I enjoy a lot, especially when you start ramping the mileage up. I feel like anything over 2 or 3 miles, especially out in nature on a trail, those training runs become just a amazing start to the day.
Sure.
You can go have 10, 12 mile trail run in the morning to start the day, watch the sunrise out in the hills. Like there's no better start to the day. And then just achieving something hard.
Sure.
You know, going and actually going out. And the first ultra I ever did was a 55K. So it's 30 something miles. And it was in the middle of the summer out here. I think it got up to 100 degrees. I think 60% of the people that started it finished it. And I was literally like tearing up and crying the last mile. Like,
so I guess that's kind of the
just
thing, right?
Knowing like, oh my God, I did it.
Right. And so it's like it's so funny because I see the guys at the finish line and I'm like, all right, I know how he feels right now, right? It doesn't look good. This looks rough. They're struggling, but they're like, but they love it at the same time, right? So it's like this strange relationship between like pain and like reward, and it's interesting. Like I said, because I enjoy running and I'm intrigued by it because like I like pushing myself like that, right? But I don't want to ruin it. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to ruin the fact that you just, you know, sometimes like, and it's good to hear, like you say, like, hey, yeah, no, every once in a while, just going and running 3, 5, 10, 12 miles, like you still enjoy that. That's cool. I was curious. Yeah.
Yeah. I would second the training because especially after you do like I've done 4 100s and I've done 2 100Ks.
That's
and
insane.
How I started with is I did the marathon and then I jumped up little by little. I ended up putting and this happened like during COVID too. I ended up putting a checklist on my calf, and it went all the way up to 100 miles. And when I put the tattoo on, I hadn't done the 100K yet. I'd done the 50 miler. So I jumped up little by little. I went the 50K, and then I did a 50 miler. And then I did the 100K at a backyard race, but it wasn't an official 100K, so I didn't count it in my eyes. But then I hopped to the 100 miler. And that's usually where I've stayed at because I'm trying to qualify to get into one. To answer the question, it's a completely different experience. It's not. I don't see how you could hate running, getting to that distance. You would already hit a distance at some point and realize like, nah, I just don't want to do this.
Sure.
But the chasing the feeling of it, like I only do it like once a year, that sure. distance. And when like getting to that pain and like the highs and lows, it's almost impossible to describe.
Yeah.
And then especially like the adrenaline kick at the end. It's happened in everything over 100K for me.
Like you're not going to stop.
No,
right? You can't. You're not going to stop.
You don't. It's a mental battle. There are plenty, and like you'll see people like this last one I just did. I did 100K, and then I think the third to last checkpoint. I think we were 50 miles in. Like I got to the checkpoint, I saw a guy sitting in a chair, and like I saw a look on his face, and it's like, oh shit,
he's done.
He's done. And so like you can see that he
just
gave
said that 60% of people finish. I would have never thought that because I can't imagine like putting in all that work. Training and then getting there and then stopping, dude. I think I'd kill I think my legs would have to break or something. There'd have to be something dramatic to where it was like I'm just not finishing this.
And that's usually what it is because a lot of times when I've done some of these races, like it's a guy that I've been like I was already running with at an earlier part, and like we sparked up a conversation and like how he's been doing it for 10 plus years, and then you see him drop at that mileage, you're like, damn, like anyone,
something's happened, right?
Yeah, anyone is susceptible to get just something to go over. It's usually it's eating or GI. It's either puking or you shitting your life out, and you can't keep the calories.
Or you're a dumbass and you weren't fueling properly. Like my first attempt at 100K,
that's learning.
So like my first attempt at 100K, it was 3 20-mile loops essentially. The first loop was like 21, and then it's like 19 or something like that to make it turn into 100K, and I was in the best shape of my life. I trained for it like crazy. Like, okay, I'm bumping up to 100K. And I got in a conversation with a guy as we're running, feeling good, wasn't paying attention to my heart rate or how fast we were running, and felt because we were talking and having a conversation. That's a really good indicator that you're easy and you're good. Blew through an aid station with him because I had 2 handhelds, and should have been a sign to me that I'm not drinking enough. I still had water, so then we go through the second aid station, blow through it, and then he turns to me and he's like, hey man, you can stop at the aid stations, you don't gotta stay with me. I'm not even running the race, my wife is. I'm just running this one lap as a training run. And come to find out, he's like an elite ultra marathoner who was the guy that had just finished second to Courtney DeWalter at the Moab 240.
So you just checked out.
And then I was like, oh crap. Yeah. So the next aid station I did stop at, thought I was going to catch up. Still felt great. I was in like 10th place at the time, which I should not have been. A mile away from finishing that first loop where the big aid station is, and now I'm starting to feel it, which I probably would have stopped there for a while, tried to rehydrate and finish the rest of the race. I literally like pulled over off the side of the trail to take a piss and blacked out and woke up like in my piss like oh man. And people are walking by like, you all right? Like, yeah, I'm okay. And like dazed, a little confused, try to keep going. Happens again. Now somebody grabs me. Somebody's already alerted the race directors. They come pull me off the course, give me 2 bags of fluids. I hadn't taken in any salt. I wasn't eating anything. I did not hydrate enough. It was Arizona in the heat, and I just totally blew up. And it was like, okay, well, that was a lesson learned. And then the only other time I DNF'd was going to do 100 miles with him at that same course, which was a little bit of a redemption. I knew I hadn't trained enough for the 100, but I was like, I'm just going to will myself to it. Like, I knew enough to know that I hadn't trained enough because I was dealing with calf injuries, and I'd only gotten up to like 35 miles a week, which is not enough for 100 miles. But was able to stick with him the first 3 loops, which was the 100K. It was at the exact same course.
I'll interject real quick. Yeah, I had to keep telling him that, hey, slow down. Like, we have a lot to go.
Sure.
Yeah, you know, I've learned from I learned from that mistake from him to where, like, I've tried to, obviously I didn't try to do that, but I've already done at that point 200 milers, and where he's like, our heart rate's good. I'm like, I know the heart rate, you might feel it's good, but like, slow down a little bit. Yeah, we're good. And he kept trying to press me.
It was like 2 years ago, I seen you had posted something on Instagram. And like I said, I enjoy running. And I think we were at WFCT and I seen you were out running. I was like, man, I'm gonna hit him up and go running. But there was something that stopped me. I was just like, nah, these boys are on a whole nother fucking level, dog. You don't need to be.
Nah, for like an easy chill run, I'm not running hard. Like,
12-minute miles, baby.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the other thing is like, like right now I'm actually training for a 5K because I gave up on training to get fast at short stuff for a long time, and now I've got a daughter who's competing at a pretty high level that is way faster than me now. And it's like,
how old is she?
17. She's a senior in high school. She's actually going to be competing in the state cross country championship Saturday. So I'm flying to Reno tomorrow morning. She broke her school record. She's getting a scholarship to go to college to compete D1. Like, so the last couple of years of training her have gotten me into like, okay, I want to get fast at a 5K again. And honestly, if you actually talk to most professional runners, like even marathoners, a lot of them will tell you the 5K is the hardest.
Really?
Because they're going all out. Like at the professional level, they're running it in like 13 minutes, 13, 14 minutes. That's insane for 5K. So the training for that's a whole nother thing. Ultras are really fun because a lot of the training is just long, slow, just put mileage and time on your feet to where your body can get the endurance to go for a really long time, really slow.
Yeah.
People that are winning those races are like elite runners that are running them a lot faster than we are. And they're not stopping and walking nearly as much. When we go to do it, it's like stop and walk, let your heart rate chill, run a little. So a lot of that training isn't fast. It's
still a lot of dedication. Like you gotta make time for that.
Oh, for sure. I mean? They're 2 separate things, and they both require just as much effort.
Yeah. My training for a 100 miler, I after my first one, I started buying. Like I was following Zach Bitter. I know he's a top runner, and he has pre-made running programs, 4-month or 6-month. And like after my first one, and when I did it for my second one, I actually got a training program, did it, and I thought I had put nowhere near enough miles on my legs. And like I performed 1,000 times better. I didn't crash and burn. I realized in the first one, I completely overtrained. Sure. I was redlining my heart rate constantly. I was just trying to get miles in. And then finally realizing that like I have 2 days a week where I'm spiking my heart rate. And the other days, it's just an hour and 15. Make sure your heart rate doesn't get above like 130. Just chill right there and hold that pace. And it's just time on legs, because when you get to the tail end of those things, everyone's in pain.
Yeah,
it's right. Yeah. Can your body not break? That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, hold it together. Yeah. So do you think you influenced your daughter to run?
She's been around it since she was little. But out of my 5 kids, she's the one that's always wanted to go run.
Yeah, 5 kids.
Yeah, so she's my oldest, but like, she's always been around me going and doing these things. She's gone to 2 backyard ultras that he did where it's 4.1 miles every hour on the hour until there's only one person left, where we're going out and running a 4-mile loop with him in the middle of the night just to be out there with him and seeing these people go 100 miles. All of a sudden, she does middle school cross country, and it's like, well, we're just running 2 miles. Like, whatever, no big deal.
She looks like a
Where
rock
most
star.
kids that age are like, oh my God, I gotta run 2 miles. So running's so mental.
Yeah.
So I think it definitely made her mentally tougher in the training and knowing what needs to be done. And then me constantly trying to learn more and more and more about training. That's where, like, right now in the last 90 days, I've built in a pretty good block of training, ramping my mileage up, but doing it the way she's been training for 5K and for what she trains for track. Like he was saying, it's like Monday, I'm going easy zone 2. And for me, I need to keep it under 147 heart rate. Everybody's going to be individual, right?
Sure.
And then I've been mixing in what I've never done in a very long time, those harder sessions. Tuesday and Thursday, I'm doing thresholds. So I'm doing like 6-minute repeats or 3-minute repeats.
Yep.
I know after looking at my heart rate, after attempting it a couple times and knowing how fast I can kind of run, I've dialed that in. Using ChatGPT now. I've been using it with her for the last 2 years. Take the data from the wearables that we all have now. You feed it in there. This is what my heart rate looked like at these paces on this terrain, and it can guide you. Like he didn't have ChatGPT when he started using Zach Bitter's plan, but I guarantee right now he could get on there, give it his information, and get a plan that would be as good, if not better, than what a professional runner is giving.
From what you've been doing, it's pretty much identical.
Yeah. So, and all this info that's out there now that you can get from AI is coming from the.
Sure.
I've been following on YouTube and there's another example of how powerful podcasts are. Zach Bitter, we probably found on Rogan's podcast, and he has his own podcast, and then listened to him, gained trust in him. So, but now everybody has access to AI, and if you just know a little bit, you can ask the right questions and get a really good training plan for whatever distance you're trying to run.
Or whatever you're trying to accomplish, right?
Yeah, anything in life. Yeah,
anything.
Whatever it is.
I was talking with a good friend of mine the other day. He cooks at home. It's like, that's his thing, right? Like he goes home and he cooks for his wife and his kids. And he was telling me that he's kind of picking on his wife a little bit. His name's Chris Ulmer. He's a great guy. He's in the wrap industry. But him and his wife are pretty well known in our space. And he mentioned that she would go to their pantry and just take a picture of the pantry and then just ask ChatGPT, based off of what you see in here, what can I cook?
I've done it. Yeah.
I thought, man, that's so smart. Like, and he was like, no, it's not. She's lazy. She just doesn't know what she's doing. She doesn't know how to cook. I'm like, dude, no, that's brilliant. Like, because I get lost in the kitchen. I don't know what to do.
Even like right now, I think the best app out there right now, if you're trying to like mess with your diet or meal prep or anything like that, it's ChatGPT. Like if you literally just tell it like, okay, this is my age, my weight, this is my goal weight. And like for me, the more you can prompt it, so you need to know a little bit about what you're asking. But for me, it's been like, all right, my goal weight's 160, so I want to hit at least 160 grams of protein a day, and this is how I'm running. And the more data you give it, then you just like, okay, help me create a meal plan. Boom. All right, I want to prep meals for the week. Can you create meals that would fit this meal plan? And boom, it'll generate them for you. You can give it, and then you can day by day. All right, this is what I had for breakfast today. Keep a log for me. And then, all right, lunch. I just ate this for lunch. And then it's dinner time. My wife made this recipe. I'll have her send me the
screenshot, caption, whatever.
Yeah, whatever of the recipe that you made, and throw it in there. Like, how much of this can I eat? All right, you can have this much of that meal, and then boom, you hit your calorie and your protein goals for the day. And now, all right, let's do it again tomorrow. Like,
it's funny. I get it. I get to where like I'll use it for like responses a lot of times, right? Like I wanted to clean up my responses on emails or whatever. And so I get into it and I'm like, so I'll do it for a lot of time for posts too, right? Like my brain's just checked out, right? And I'm like, all right, I'm going to post this video. I need a quick caption. So I just jump on ChatGPT and I'm explaining to it what I want it to take this information, make me a post out of it. And I get done explaining to it what I want. I'm like, well, fuck, there's the post. I could have just used the same, just said what I just said for my post, and it was the same thing. Obviously, it cleaned it up a little bit, organized it.
It does all the polish.
But it polishes, right? Yeah. It's funny because it's like, in my head, it's like, oh, man, it seems like so much work to just have to, think about it. But I'm explaining to it what it needs. So it's like, it's a strange thing. I just thought about this the other day. It's like, you can do it yourself, right? Like, but it's just that little bit of extra, like that polish or like that information maybe that you just don't have readily available right at that second. It's like it's great software. It's incredible. It's it's changing people's lives, but it's like sometimes I think a lot of people are I'm guilty of like underutilizing it. You know what I mean? It's like probably shouldn't be handing off something so basic as that to AI. You know, it's like
anywhere where you can save time, man.
Sure.
Time's valuable. I think that to me, it's like a little time machine.
Yeah,
like if this would take me 15 minutes to do on my own, but I can do it 5 minutes with chat.
Oh,
I'm gonna do it in 5 minutes with chat.
Even less than that. I never really posted much of anything because every time I would go to post something, I gotta put a caption on this. Yeah. And I was like, I mean, I can have a conversation with someone, but actually writing it out and, all right, did I spell everything right? Did I say this correctly? So yeah, no, it's ChatGPT. All right, in this video, I'm doing this, this, and this. I'm saying say this or comment this word below. This is the hook I want. Yeah, this is it. Enter, and I get 3 things. I'm like, and that's perfect. Oh, it's got emojis on it and everything. Just copy, paste, go.
Shit it over,
Oh, it made me so much more comfortable with doing that.
Well, like you said, just something as simple as spelling, right? Or just improper grammar.
That's the thing that kills me.
Yeah. It'll and it's so stupid because at the end of the day, it's like, you know what? I'm reading people's captions, but I'm not slowing down long enough to be like, did he spell that wrong? You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a shit. Like, obviously, like, we want to be professional, right? And you want it to look clean. You want to be the part. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know. There's a little bit of that's like, it makes me wonder because you hear people talking about like how like the long-term effects that it's having on people. Like I just recently switched to an iPhone, right? And I used to use one, switched over to Android. I got on a Google phone. With Google, when I'm typing stuff out, right? Like it'll give me like I don't really honestly I don't even think I gotta get fucking close anymore. Like it almost knows what I'm trying to say like 2 letters in, right? So I switched to an iPhone and it's not quite as intuitive. Right. So it's like I type it out and then I stop and I'm like looking for the word. I'm like, where's the word at? And then I'm like, what the hell are you doing? You know how to spell? Like, just type the fucking word out. Like, what do you? It's strange. Like, and so it like makes me wonder like the larger impact that it's having on society. Because you know you hear the crazy prepper guys that are like, man, it's we're screwed. Everybody's relying on AI. We're all gonna die. I don't know. It's this crazy like world takeover of AI. And so like I get it. I get the concern, but it's like at the same time it's like, man, I don't know. Like I don't know where I fall. It's just funny. So.
There's going to be a standard distribution curve of like the positives and the negatives.
Sure.
Just like everything else.
You have to learn it as a tool. Don't depend on it.
Sure.
But know how to use that tool. But still be able to, do it yourself if you need to. Because if you're just purely relying on it, then you're in trouble.
I see these like the SNL skits where the guys are like talking back and forth. They're like it would be like us having a podcast. I'm like, all right, Ricky just said AI may not take over the world. How do I respond to that? It's pretty funny stuff.
But I worry about an episode about that.
Yeah.
Where all the kids were like the girls were
responding to your
they were texting their boyfriends and they just like they throw it in ChatGPT and send it back to their girlfriend.
Like, damn it, you're making us all look bad. You're actually responding the correct way.
These people are actually talking to one another. Like, this is strange. You can still have conversations nowadays. It's like, yeah, now we can do this. So, but it's cool, man. I like the tech side of it. I think you guys have a good mixture of it, right? Because like, just you think about like going run, like just listening to you talk about running, right? Like running is like super primal, right? Like you're out in the woods, like you're connected with nature, but you're also using technology, right? So there's this healthy mix between the two, and it's cool. It's good.
Yeah, I had about a good 2-mile stint of not having this on my fourth 100-miler. Yeah, fourth. I ran Tahoe for the second time.
Talking about your watch? Or
the watch. Actually, no, take that back. Tahoe for the first time. I didn't take into account that the cold was going to zap my battery where my battery should have lasted 36 hours. At hour like 32, all of a sudden it's like 5%. And I'm like, oh no. And I had to shut down that run because it's like at some point I needed to keep checking the time because I needed to know where my cutoff time was. I want to make sure I'm pacing it correctly. Not being able to look
that's critical, dude. Like that's wild, man.
Talk about a complete mental fight with yourself that it's like, like, all right, that aid station's 4 miles away. Not knowing how far you've went and how fast you've done it. You don't know your pace, so you don't know if you're moving fast enough. And like every little round corner that I would hit, I'm like, okay, it's right around that corner. Turn the corner.
Well, that's what happened to him, right?
Just huge trail. And it's just like
check out, and the next thing you know, you're blacked out somewhere.
It was torture. And then when I finally when he was about 1.5 miles, 2 miles out, I knew I had enough juice for it, so I turned it back on. And then being able to keep track of my pace to know, like, all right, I got 2 miles left. If I'm keep a 16-minute pace, I'm done in 32 minutes.
Yeah.
The journey's at the end right there.
Peace of mind.
Oh, it makes a huge difference. I've seen a couple of people where it's like, you know, how far are we out? And it's like, my watch died. I'm like, oh, I know your pain. Like, this sucks so much. And it's
I ran QuickBooks self-employed on my phone for years. Like, it was the easiest software. It was the best software I'd ever had in my entire life, right? Like, tracked your miles, you swipe one way or another for your deductions. Like, it was the best in the world. They stopped updating it, right? And so eventually it just phased out. I think it phased into Solopreneur or something like that. There was another software, right? But it was so convenient. It was like the best piece of software I'd ever found in my life. I would tell people about it. I would say, because I think it was like maybe $15 a month. It was super cheap. Fantastic software. If they would have charged $100, $500, I would have paid whatever the fuck they wanted because it was that good of software. It just did everything you needed to do. When they stopped doing the updates, dude, it was like life shattering for me. Like, to the point where I'm like debating, like, I need to call QuickBooks and like we gotta find out what's going on here, because this is like, I just became so reliant on it. You know what I mean? It was like It made things so easy. To like, going back and doing it the old way was not an option. Like, I'm not going back. You know what I mean? Like, and then, you know, I can't, it's not, you're literally trying to stay alive, right? Like, so you need to know your heart rate and stuff. But that's the way I felt. Like, man, this is like, I don't even know how to conduct business in it, you know, anymore. It's like, it hit me hard. So it's like, you can get easily reliant, you know what I mean? Even just maps, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, if GPS just went out tomorrow, how bad would the traffic be in every major city in the U.S.? Because I guarantee just the fact that people are using it so much and it reroutes you around traffic and stuff, I bet you traffic would be 50, 60, 70% worse in every major city if everybody wasn't using GPS. Like, traffic would be way worse. We're so dependent on it. Like, that's the scary thing to me. I'm not worried about like physical war happening somewhere. If the power went out and we lost the internet and GPS, we're done.
I'm screwed.
Like, society is in trouble. Look at COVID. Toilet paper running out. Like, okay,
something as simple as toilet paper.
That's nothing compared to if the internet stops working tomorrow.
My wife, this is her first time in Vegas. She came with me, and it worked out really well. I got nominated for an award. I got an award last night for Rockstar Rapper of the Year 2025.
Oh, hell yeah. Congratulations.
I really appreciate that, man. It was incredible. So her being there, but when she landed in Vegas, obviously I'm working the 3M booth this week, and so she calls and she's like, "Hey, are you coming to get me?" I'm like, "No, I hadn't really planned on coming to get you. Like, you're just going to get an Uber and go to the hotel." And she was like, "An Uber? What do you mean?" And I was like, "You know, the app on your phone, you just click it and get a ride to the hotel." I was like, "Babe, I feel like we're missing something. What's going on?" Like, she was like, "Oh, I don't have Uber on my phone. I've never used Uber." I'm like, "How have you never used Uber?" Like, I don't know how I could you know what I mean? Like, as much traveling as I'm doing, like, I was just blown away. I'm like, all right, okay, babe, I understand that there's an app called Uber. You just go to your app store. Hopefully you know what that is at this point, and you just download the app, and a guy's going to show up in probably like a Prius or something, and he'll drive you down to the hotel, and everything's going to be fine. But it was just like, I was so blown away. Like, I can't even believe we're having this conversation. But it makes you think about it. Like, I don't even think of, like, we went out to dinner last night, and she was like, "Well, how are we going to get to that?" I was like, "We're just going to Uber again." She was like, "Oh man, this is just so convenient." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know what I would do if it didn't work." Like, I was talking to a friend of mine, Nick. He came to the booth earlier, and he was like, "Yeah, I live between Charlotte and Raleigh. I'm like right in the middle, central North Carolina." Okay. And so one of the guys came up, and we're a racing country, right? There's probably 100 race teams within 60 miles, right? And they're all pro race teams. They're top level, racing. But he came out, he was doing a program with Roland, and he was like, "Yeah, I ended up trying to get an Uber out your way." And he was like, "It's pretty few and far between." And I was like, "Yeah, probably so. We're out in the country a little ways, right? You probably can't find them." He was like, "Yeah, I finally got one, and a little sketchy, man. A little sketchy." I'm like, "Yeah, man, you're Ubering out in the middle of, southeast somewhere, trying to, out in the middle of the country. Probably not going to be, the best case scenario, but I don't know. I have hard luck here. It depends on where you're at, I guess." Yeah. But anyway, but the tech stuff is, I've become reliant on that. I don't know how I could. Yeah. But it's not good or bad. Like you said, like for competition and stuff, like you probably couldn't do it. Probably couldn't compete the same. business would not be the same without it.
Business definitely would be the same.
And you see these people that go crazy where they're like, you know what, I'm off social media. I'm not doing it. It's like you said it earlier about it being a tool. It's like, man, if you're using it properly, like you don't have to let it take over.
Yeah.
Right.
It's leveling us all up on the edges of everything. Like even sports, running.
Yeah.
All these world records, and like my daughter broke the school record for a couple different distances now. Like I didn't know enough about running on my own to coach her into doing that. It's been YouTube, ChatGPT, wearables being available. All of that stuff is just the access to it is leveling everybody up, and the knowledge is spreading faster. Whether it's running or window tint or wraps, like a new tool or trick or technique comes out, and everybody knows it almost instantaneously now. Yeah. Whereas 15, 20 years ago, that was not the case.
And the tool space is interesting too, because a lot of times it's not just the tool, it may be the process that comes with the tool, right? Like, so you guys ever heard of a Rolly Pro? You know what a Rolly Pro is for like rolling rivets?
Yeah.
It's like a foam. Yeah. So it's like everybody was like, man, the Rolly Pro changed the game. And it's like, it did. And it's a badass tool. Like I know the guy that came up with it. He did an excellent job. I mean, it is a tight design. Everything is perfect on it. But it's really the process of channeling out rivets, heating them and rolling them that really, change the game. And like people sleep on that. Like they see a tool and they're like, man, that tool is everything. It's like, oh, the process behind it is really like you could sleep. Like it's great to have a watch, like, but if you don't know how to use the fucking thing, right? Like it's completely useless. You know, it's like being able to utilize it and know, like, it's funny listening to you guys talk about it. I don't think I've ever paid attention to my heart rate when I'm running. It's never been on my radar. I 100% have never thought about it, right? But obviously, I'm not, running a 100K either. You know what I mean? Like that's not. I'm not thinking like that. But it's just, it would be interesting to like. I'm going to now, right? Like that's probably all I'm gonna be able to think about the next time I go run. I'm gonna hear my heartbeat in my head. It's gonna be the only thing I can. Like what's going on? I don't know what's going on. Like, and I wouldn't even know what to. But yeah, I would probably just go to ChatGPT and like, what's a normal heart rate for somebody that's running that's 40 and 6'2" at 100 whatever. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's cool. Yeah,
it would give you a great answer too, because it's not set in stone. But it is age, gender dependent, and then your fitness level. It's very unique person. It can give you a good rough guidance, but Anyways, that's a much longer conversation, and I think we got to wrap this up.
Yeah. Dude, very much appreciate you coming. Sit down.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course. Like that's the other fringe benefit of doing this, as well as it's like I get to sit down with people, pick their brains, and get to actually genuinely know people and have a real conversation. Because outside of this, like, yes, might see you on the showroom floor, have a quick chat, but to actually sit down and have the full conversation. Very much appreciate you taking the time out.
Yeah. Definitely appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Like I think I alluded to it earlier when we started. Man, I love what you guys are doing. I think it's incredible. The quality is great. So keep it up. Like I said, I don't know if you guys hear it often. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But it does mean something, right? Like it's you see.
I appreciate it.
I mean, just something as simple as this, right? Like you guys taking the time to do this and connect with people. It's been cool. Just like as you see the people come by, it's like they're rooting for you, and it's refreshing. So
we appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
Where can people find you?
Easiest way to find me is Stick with Scott. So Stick with Scott across all platforms. Probably right now Instagram's probably the hottest for me. But yeah, Wrap On Tools. So I do own a tool manufacturing company called Wrap On Tools. We make tools for the wrap industry. We just did our first PPF squeegee. Was pretty exciting. But yeah, those are like my two biggest.
Podcast?
Oh, the podcast is on Wrap On Tools on YouTube. So we do stream them. We've got them on Spotify, Apple, all the major streaming platforms. We keep the streaming platforms a little bit behind. So YouTube is, try to keep YouTube. It gets it first. Like, so if you want to see it, like the early access stuff is on YouTube. So.
I like that.
Yeah, that was Josh. I'll give him credit for that. It was just, obviously we want to try to, if there's an opportunity to monetize, we want to be able to take advantage of it. So it's like, hey, look, put a little pressure on them to, if they really want to listen, go to YouTube first, right? And if not, you can wait and pick it up on one of the other streaming platforms. So.
That's not a bad idea.
That's a great idea.
It took, at first it hurt a little bit. It was like, man, like I don't want to piss off those guys that are like regular listeners, but it was like, well, they still have an option. They can still go listen. So anyway.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Awesome.
It was great talking to you guys. You guys know how this works. Follow along. Until next time. Have a good one.
Thank you.